FUBARA and
FUBARA?
WIKE, yes, they are political enemies. I mean, there's no two way about that. But in 30 years from now, if both of them are still alive, and I use the word both of them, if they are still alive, because they are human, they have come, and one day they will go. But for sure, River State will remain. River State has been before they came, and River State will remain after they are gone.
Without wasting time, we add or saw what is going on in River State, one of the oil state in Nigeria that is most important to the Federal Republic of Nigeria as well. We knew the history from day one, from Peter Odile to Amishi, Rotimi Amishi, and then from there down to WIKE, from WIKE to FUBARA now. Since FUBARA came to power as governor of River State, 2023, at a few months resuming the office, he has having an issue with the former governor of River State, WIKE, who is now the Minister of Federal Capital, Abuja. Without wasting time, Adekunle, do you think that FUBARA betrayed WIKE? Because FUBARA and WIKE were making, when they were making the ideals, nobody was there. It's only the two of them. And then, as I was told or heard, FUBARA then was, I think, Accountant General of River State. So, what's your contribution on the issue of River State?
Thank you. Once again, thank you for having me. The political situation in River State is something that it catches the eye, especially at this moment. And from the outgone governor, that is the predecessor to FUBARA, who is WIKE. WIKE is WIKE has become a controversial, or how will I put it, a kind of demigod in terms of the way our politics landscape has evolved in the last 1.5 years. WIKE has been a suitor, or somebody that is being sought after from one thing to the other, you know, from contesting as a candidate for presidency under one of the parties, then also being touted to be VP, but since all those things did not happen. However, the situation in Rivers happened because in line with the norms, the norms is whereby we have this godfatherism. And the godfatherism thing, even though is like a, how do I call it in our Nigerian politics, is like a an open secret, because over the years, more than or up to like 90% of most of our successors or elected people have always been through nominations or through backings from maybe outgoing personality or person. In the case of what we are seeing in River State, it becomes too obvious, because here for the first time, is a situation whereby we see the principal and the subject, or the principal and the anointed, you know, the anointed seems to be very, very, how do I call it? I won't say deceitful, but he was able to be loyal up to the last day. But then, a month or two into his administration, he began to show that it's not going to be business as usual. So the expectations are like being changed. And just like we said, it's like a beginning of a new era. Like I told you, it's been business as usual. This is a common phenomenon. And however, when we look at it holistically, we need to put some things in perspective. In politics, and which is a kind of departure from the way we play our own politics in Nigeria, I think it should be about your contribution. When we are an association, when we are together as a group, we have a kind of hierarchy. And those hierarchy are like there's a leader, or their hierarchy means that we have first, second, third, and fourth in terms of whatever. And if you want to choose a leader, if you don't choose number one, we might say maybe fine, number one is Kanoru because of age, or will not be suitable because of one thing or the other, or because of religion, or because of sex. Okay, we've tried to pick based on seniority, and that is more humane and about more let me say it's more not representative, fair, when you rank people within a particular system as like, I take over because I'm the most senior, I take over because I'm the next in terms of contribution to this group. So now, but what we have found out in Nigeria over the years is that our leaders tend to depart from this, and that's probably what is causing problem. Because in politics, they want to reward people based on their contribution, based on people who have you know, worked their source off, try to defend through thick and thin the group or the party, the political party. And when you are now in power, it's not too good, or it's not fair for me to now see that, oh, Mr. B supposed to be the next person we should look at after my tenure. And I now say, oh, no, I have my in-law. My son-in-law has been dutiful to me in my administration. And in order to have the dynasty. So it's again the tenets of, you know, fairness and equity, if we look at it, and the people are that. So it's not far from the case that we're having in Rivers State. The big players, they were there. But the de facto leader makes sure that he has his own candidate, and now try to find a way to cajole the people that could succeed, or the people that were senior members of the group, to pick a guy that thinks he will be loyal to him, so that he can still have influence even while he's no more in the office. So these are things that it's not a good tactics, and I know it's going to boomerang one day, and that is the situation we are seeing in Rivers State. It's not something that is sustainable, and even though you cannot condemn, because that is the kind of our people over That is, a greater percentage of our people believes in this kind of politics, and it's not good for the country. I think it's something that we need to look at and get back to the drawing board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pastor Ologun.
Thank you.
So what is your contribution?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, bro, Mr. Adekunle. You see, when we say governors, and you mentioned River State, there are some names that came to my mind, which could not be forgotten so quickly in the history of River State. Names like Alfred Diete Spieth, Zamani Leckworth, Brigadier Seidu, Chief Melford Okilo, Mr. Fidelis Oyakilome, Group Captain Anes Adeleye, and some of the people that have ruled River State before, even long before Peter Odili. All these people had one thing in common. One, they made history. Two, they came and they are gone. But something more important that I want us to look into is River State and the people of River State remain, and they remain till today. There's a popular saying that there are no permanent friends or permanent enemy in politics. Today, what's their name again? FUBARA and WIKE. Yes, they are political enemies. I mean, there's no two way about that. But in 30 years from now, if both of them are still alive, and I use the word both of them, if they are still alive, because they are human, they have come, and one day they will go. But for sure, River State will remain. River State has been before they came, and River State will remain after they are gone. So, if they remember what they are doing now, in 30 years from today, they will both laugh at themselves, because they will no longer be strong enough to do what they are doing, and they will no longer be in position to even do what they are doing now. So that is to tell you that the state where they govern is more important than them. River State is more important than them. And when you saying this thing, I try to draw, I don't know if you can see this V shape that I try to draw. I don't want to be tempted to take side with either of them. I see one of them, I call him number one, standing on top of one side of the pillar of V. I see the other one standing on the other side, and on the bottom of this letter V, you see what I call ego. The battle they are both fighting today is what I call the battle of ego. It is a spiritual battle. Until we find someone who can prevail over the ego of these two people. Otherwise, the progress of the problem of River State cannot be subdued. The progress of the people will be hindered. And of course, the progress of the state will also be slowed down. So, if only these two men will understand that they were both beneficiaries of time and chance. Let me read something. I'm a pastor. Let me read Ecclesiastes chapter. This is my Bible. Please forgive me. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. I want to read it to us. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. It said, I returned and I saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. We have more than 3 million citizens of River State today. Either of them could be called upon at any time. Either of them, any of them has the right to become the governor of River State. So whoever time and chance, help to get to the power, you should understand one thing. I am a living beneficiary of time and chance. How am I using my chance? Let me use it well to benefit my people. and to make my state a progressing one, and not just to be here fighting the battle of it is me, it is you, it is me, it is you. For as long as these two people are fighting, where is the progress of the state? Where is the prosperity of the people? That is the question. So I'm not tempted to support either of them. I am tempted to say power belongs to the people. And if they are not careful, God can sweep away either of them at any minute. And River State will still remain River State. The people
Thank
will
you.
still remain who they are. That's my take.
Thank you, Pastor Ologun. Thank you, Pastor Ologun. Before we move to the next question, FUBARA is not a politician. He's a civil servant. WIKE brought him to the spotlight. So by so doing, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, that what FUBARA did is very wrong. Because if there's going to be any issue between two of them, it's supposed to say WIKE. I could remember during the time I watched one of the program before he came to office, while Ayofayo say the then governor of Ekiti State was just advising him. But to me, FUBARA knew what he's going for. That just give it to me. As soon as I hold it, so I will change my gear. My gear. That's what FUBARA is doing today. So with it, I think to the best of my knowledge, FUBARA trigger the so-called fight with WIKE. That okay, it's now I'm a governor now. You can't do me anything. I'm in control. So that's the reason why I said in Rivers, they still need to learn about the politics. So that's my own contribution to it. Let's quickly move.
Can I just quickly come in, sir?
All right, sir.
Yeah, it is good you draw this comparison between Ekiti and Rivers. I mean, in fairness to WIKE, he presented FUBARA. But in all honesty, the people of Rivers voted FUBARA into the office. In Ekiti State, Ayofayoshe presented his deputy, Eleka. But the people didn't vote for him. So WIKE can present what's his name, FUBARA, as his the next in line. What if the people didn't vote for him? So what I'm saying is that these two men, they owe River State a lot. River State is not the property of any of them. River State is the property of the people of River State. The office they are sitting on, the office which WIKE left, and the office FUBARA is occupying today belong to the people. So the people's wish, the people's progress, the people's well-being should be priority number one in the life of these two men. So as long as either of them are sitting on their ego and say, it is me, it is me, afemi, afemi, it is me, it is me. Believe me, they are hindering, they are hampering the progress of the state. So in disrespect to the people, that is what they are doing. My argument is I'm on the side of the people. They should both step out of their ego, or we get somebody who is spiritually strong enough to prevail over the ego of these people for the sake of the people of River State. That's
Thank you, Pastor Stephen Ologun. Let us move to the next question. Defectors is not started in Nigeria today. It has been happening for decades. For decades. It has happened for decades. When we look back to it, it has been happening for decades. When we look to the history of Nigeria today. In when the Saraki crossed to the APC, I think that was 2015, with the 11 others. They wrote a letter to the then Senate President, David Mark, that they were leaving the PDP to APC. There was no rerun election. Although in Nigerian Constitution, under section 68, open bracket 1, close bracket, G, stated that you are free to move from one side to another, although that seat is vacant. About a few days ago, I listened to Mr. Femi Falana and one other man, he's a professor. But when they were elaborating it on the television, they don't explain it very well to the people. They only say that, okay, those 27 lawmakers, they've lost their seat. Election need to, election need to, they need to do the election. If you go to the court in a cross-examination, we saw the example during the presidential court ruling. I agree, they've vacated their seat to another party from PDP to APC. The seat is vacant. That seat is vacant till the next general election, not that moment. But that's the issue of Mr. Femi Falana. He said they've lost their seat, they've lost their seat. By so doing, they should come for the election. INEC can call the election just like that to waste another millions or billions of naira for any elections until the next general election. You can cross carpet, just like UK, you cross carpet to another party, they will not call for election. And when we look at our constitutions, we still borrowed parts of the foreign constitution to our constitution. About 3 days ago or 2 days ago, the same thing happened in Abia State, whereby some lawmakers left YPP, Young Progressive Party, to Labour Party. Are they going to call for election? That is number one. There's a lot of politicians, the lawmakers, defected to another party. That is happening there. In Oyo State, it's happened across Nigeria. So those lawmakers or those senators crossing from their party to another party, how many times Nigerian did the election or the non-election? Why not we get our constitution right that post is vacant till the next general election, not that moment? So to me, what FUBARA is doing is like FUBARA is crossing his lane, is acting above his power. You can't interfere to state judiciary, to state lawmaker. The House Assembly, where the lawmakers are holding their day-to-day activities, you can't force them to the government compound or premises. It's against the law. The issue is already settled when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu interfered to it, and then both parties signed documents that we created peace and harmony to the state of Rivers. So when we know our law very well, or to, when we understand how to interpret our constitution, not that we come to the televisions and be saying that these people, they've lost their seat, they've lost their seat, they've lost their seat. We knew what is going on in Nigeria. That doesn't matter that, okay, you are senior advocate of Nigeria, you know more than the others. That's the reason why I respect Sir Clark, one of the senior advocates of Nigeria. You can never say that man come to the televisions and be arguing unnecessarily. I followed the man up at the course of court proceeding during the president's election. The man was breaking it. But let other senior advocates of Nigeria come out. They will say rubbish things. They will not try to. They will try to turn our constitution upside down. We all knew and we understood the constitution. We can quote it. That section 68, open bracket 1, close bracket G, is added this in so way. But we can't contest that. We can't call for any election again until the next general election. By so doing, when we follow our constitution with cross examinations, these people that are crossing, 27 lawmakers that are crossing from River State, they cross on a what? Based on our constitution, they are crossing to other party is totally legal. It's not illegal. It's not illegal. It is legal. It is legal that these people they cross to another party. And it is their fundamental right, fundamental human right to cross to that party. Nobody can stop them. Nobody. It's legal. So by so doing, we need to get our constitution very right and see it. So to me, these 27 lawmakers that are crossing, they cross on a good faith. They were not breaking the law. By so doing, when all those the rest of 3 lawmakers and FUBARA said that they've lost their election and they've lost their seat, they will come for election. Does it make sense? Adekunle?
Thank you. It's a it's a tough one because but it's also simple, like you said. This situation and this case is already in court, and I can tell you it can go either way, depending on how the defense handle the case in terms of who gets the upper hand in trying to interpret what the constitutional positions are. But having said that too, it is obvious that the constitution will be upheld, and the judgment of the court will be what the INEC people will face. However, because in the realm now, to the general public or some of the commentators or the electoral populace, some of them are like, oh, you were not in this party, you defected to the other party. So emotionally, they have been say, oh, they should declare their seat vacant so that they can do a re-election, do another election, so that on their platform they chose other new people to vie on the. I agree with you, and if that's what the constitution is saying, I think it's more fair in the sense that these are the individuals within the state, and that they have to elect laws for the state. Even changing from one party to the other does not preclude who they are for the state. But however, in terms of what has happened politically and practically by the practice of our politicians over the years, especially as regards the states, most times the people that do survive suspension or movement like this are the people that are loyal to the sitting governor. So the sitting governor wants to have the structure, and what the sitting governor will be thinking is that if you are going against a party that brings me to power, then you are not in line with me. You are like, you want to rub my my reign into the mud. So these have been what, even though the law court will do what he has to do, he has not, like you said, I don't think it has never happened in the history of this country, that of this civilian rule, that people that defected, elections are being held to now choose new members, just like you said. I think at the end of the day, I don't think so. It does not happen like that. But what does it portray for Rivers State? The crisis had to probably deepen in the sense that those people are telling you that they draw a line, that they are not with the governor because they chose a different party from that of the governor. So the governor is executive power now. He's trying to fight them. And those other people have backers from wherever, because they still believe that the mandate given to elect them, even in the other party they go, it can still be upheld. So they say two elephants fight. Now it's the grass that suffers. So I still see the political turmoil to continue, because I don't want to say a winner and loser case now, but I don't think there are no winners yet until the court case is settled and INEC is able to take his stand.
Thank you, Adekunle. Let me come in before I throw the last question to Pastor Ologun. I think they went to the court, and the court have thrown their case out. So, unless any elected politicians or lawmaker die, they can declare his or her seats vacant, and they will call for the election. For any living lawmakers or senator or politicians, so that you stay alive, but you cross to another party, it's not happening. It's not only Nigerian. It's across the world. I've never seen it before. I've never seen it before. I've never. Unless in the area of impeachment, if anything doesn't happen like that, I don't think no country is calling for election when one lawmakers or MP or senator cross to another party. It's not happened before. It's not over the world. I've never had it, unless that particular person is dead. So by so doing, I think what FUBARA is trying to do is that but in this area, they can cut it if it's stepping too much. Because he signed a document with the president, with the both parties, by saying that the document that I signed is not in the constitution. I don't think that his common sense is okay. Any paper that you put your signature there is totally legal documents. It's binding. You can't throw it away again. When you are signing it, are you blind then? When you say that you just decided to sign it for the peace to reign, now that you are selling 10 people, you just sign it, and that document is not reflected in Nigerian constitution. Do you think that what he's doing, is right? No. So what he's trying to do, I don't think that, to me, that is making sense. It's campaign after death. Campaign after death.
Or campaign after election.
So it doesn't make sense to me that the document that you sign and telling people on the television that you just sign it mainly for peace to reign. So if you go to the court, he's going to lose. He's going to be a loser.
Well, I think that was even what the document was all about too.
Yeah.
The document was to profile peace.
Yeah. So
it was more of a document that is more of an advisory.
If you go to
for
court
us to have peace, let's do it this way. From maybe from the president as an authority to profile peace between the two warring parties. So how enforceable that will be at the court of law is what I don't know. Whether that sort of an agreement is binding on each party, or rather is more or less like a gentleman agreement. But let me allow Pastor Ologun to.
Yeah, I don't know the question you want to ask me.
Please, before you go on, please. I listened to this man on Arise Television. What's his name? This elderly man there in Arise Television. What's his name? Abati.
Okay.
I listened to him where it's advised to FUBARA that you sign a document and it now come out now that you said that document is not important, it's not in Nigeria or it's not Biden. He's already put his pen there. So I listened to him the way he was advising FUBARA, that is, he made a big mistake. So no court will tolerate him, either it's the governor or no governor. It's already signed it. That is number one. We all knew Nigerian Constitution. So when you base your case on Nigerian Constitution, these people, they forgot that they will go in the courtroom, they will go for cross-examination, where their samples will be drawn. So when they go to court, the court will provide to them or prove to them, come and bring it to me, where those defectors to another party, when the INEC call for the election. It never happened in Nigeria. And there's no way they can argue it. I don't think Bukara will win the case. To me, he's supposed to make peace with his former principal or former principal with WIKE. That's the best advice for me, to him. Somebody wanted to play the game during this time, he lose. So, Pastor Ologun, continue, please. Just, we will rounding up now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you said we're rounding up. Thank you very much. My stand is still the same. To prevail over ego, in order to subdue the problem that ego causes, you must be able to prevail over ego. People's ego, or I don't know how to is it ego or ego?
Either way, sir.
Whoever is arrogant, whoever has ego. One of the greatest, almost every battle that is going on in the world today is ego related. I would rather die than to come down. I cannot come down. I would rather die than to come down. Anybody, look at Israel. The Bible says at a time where there was no king in Israel, everybody does what seemed right in his own eyes. If you gather all the party involved in this struggle today, everybody will make a point. Everybody will be right in their own eyes. But when you go to the bottom of the problem is ego. If you cannot subdue the ego of the people, you just cannot overcome this problem. Even if you prevail over them in court, one thing is for the court to say A, another thing is for the people involved to say, to still, of course, I remember when you mentioned the case of this our fathers of old. They went to court. Akitola versus Awolowo, didn't they go to court? They went to court. They came out of court, but the struggle continues. Even when court is saying A, the people are saying they are still standing on B. So, this is a battle of ego. And both of them should be, this is a spiritual problem. The problem is not more of WIKE and FUBARA. It is the problem to slow down Rivers State from moving forward. It is a problem. I can call it an SRC. My own people, Yoruba land, they will say, Amukun, a limping woman, look at your load. It bent. The limping woman will say, you are only looking at my head. You didn't look at my leg, where the problem comes from. So where this problem comes from, if they don't deal with the problem where it comes from, it will affect more and more and more of the people of Rivers State. It will affect the state more. It will affect the progress of the people. So that is my take. I'm not looking at these two people, but I am looking at a problem that is the major problem of mankind. That is ego. Anywhere on earth that war is fighting war is going on today, why are the people fighting? So trace the root of the problem, trace it down. You see that ego, money, ego is the only reason why people are fighting.
Thank you, Pastor Logan. Thank you, Adekunle. I think to above all, to run our debate, WIKE and FUBARA need to come together for the peace and harmony of Rivers State. And that's number one. Number two, FUBARA himself, to me, is a pretender. If he doesn't, he won't just come up like that. It's not the only one that will have a further reason. See what is going on in Kogi State. In Lagos State, there's peace and harmony there, regardless whatever anybody will say about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today. Babatunde Fashola, he asked misunderstanding with the president. They sorted themselves out. They made peace. What I believe is that FUBARA just want to try the ego, as Pastor Logan said it to me, that okay, I'm there now. You can't do me anything. With regardless of whatever WIKE said that he got the form for them, about few of them, whatever something that, but regardless, betrayal is not good.
No,
sorry among our people.
What I believe in is WIKE must drop his ego. FUBARA must drop his ego. Moving forward, the people of the state must be respected. Making progress should be the focus. That is my take. I am not on either of their side. I am not in FUBARA's camp. I am not in WIKE's camp. I am in the camp of the people of Rivers State. Yes. Both of them should drop their ego and allow the state to make progress. That's my argument.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Pastor Logan. Kule, did you have anything to say? Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Time is gone.
Yeah. I think just like Pastor Logan has said, I think if we can drop this ego for peace to reign, the peace and tranquility of the population, at least the citizenry, at least to take it should be the uppermost in the mind of the two people.
Thank you.
At the same time, they could just drop their ego and let peace reign. Whatever will be, will be.
Thank
you
you.
Understand? Having said that too, there are some action and inaction. And some of those action and inaction is what is causing some of these crises, whereby those lawmakers have to resign. And no, they didn't resign their seats. They only defected. You understand? It's a signal, and it's a wrong signal too. having said that, I think the most critical thing is the ego thing that we are talking about. People should fear God. I mean, we should fear God and take humanity as the utmost something that we have to give out to the people. I think people deserve more than this. And
Thank you.
those people can lower their ego and bury the hatchet and let future takes its toll.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well,
We've reached the end of the program. Once again,
okay.
also Stephen Ologun, thank you for coming. Adekunle Adebayo, thank you from Port Harcourt, disturbing you all the time.
You, sir.
Thank you. God bless you. We'll talk another day. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. And you too.
Okay.